Mr. Bloodthorn 1989, and this is going to be my review for Slammiversary 8, which took place June 13th, 12th, 11th, 13th, 2010. Now, I didn't get to see the main event. That's why this review is probably going to be posted a little bit earlier than other people, and it's because I was watching it in a stream, I will not lie, and TNA cut it off right before the main event, and I think they did that on purpose. They got all of us all hyped watching this great quality stream from the beginning of the night all the way till right before the main event. Like, it literally cut exactly right before it started. So I think they did that on purpose, which was a smooth move by TNA if that's what they did. Either way, we had a solid show tonight from what I saw. Some matches were a miss, but other ones were a hit. One thing I would like to state now is that it was kind of weird seeing Slammiversary in Orlando. I'm used to seeing it, you know, in a nice big venue with a fresh crowd. They did it in Nashville, freaking Detroit last year, the year before that, well, I can't remember where Elvis is from. Anyways, so it was kind of weird seeing it in plain old, plain old Orlando. So first match we get Kaz versus Kurt Angle. Now Kurt Angle has said that he's going to face everybody from the top 10 and he's going to be putting on match of the year contenders and this and this and that. And I've seen these guys face off twice before. I was looking forward to this match. Surprised to see it start off the show. But at the same time, hey, it's the number 10 ranked versus someone that's not even in the top 10. So it kind of makes sense that this will get a low spot on the card if you follow storyline. And it was a solid match. They gave it time. They let them go out there and give it their all, and Kurt Angle definitely made Kaz look like a serious competitor. I mean, it's pretty obvious, or it looks to be, that Kurt Angle will climb the ranks all the way until he becomes champion again. But there were definitely moments that it looked like Kaz could have won. So great match there. That's 1 out of 1. Second match of the night, Douglas Williams versus Brian Kendrick. Now, I'm a fan of Douglas Williams, a huge fan. I think he cuts great, amazing promos. I became a fan of him when I first saw him in the World X Cup. That's the first place I knew of, saw him. And then TNA signed him, and they weren't really using him, and I was kind of disappointed. And then they created the British Invasion, and ever since then, he's been on a roll. And with his recent X Division run, every match, I think he's putting on solid effort and all that. So this was another great match, and I love that he won with the Tornado DVD. I said DVD, sorry, DDT, because if somebody was to complain that he's not X Division and this and that, and forget that X Division has no limits, weight limits and stuff like that, it was a nice poke there from Desmond Wolfe to the fans and everybody else that criticizes him that he could be X Division too. It's going to be very interesting to see who takes this title from him. Either way, another solid match, 2 out of 2. Third match, I believe, was the Roxy versus Madison Rayne. Now, before they added the stipulation that if Roxy loses, she will leave. Now, I was hoping to see Roxy win here, and surprisingly, she didn't. So that kind of hurt the match for me. I don't want to say it's a bad match because I was enjoying it until Roxy lost. So it was a decent match, but I'm very disappointed to see that Roxy lost and is possibly on her way out of TNA. I think it would be great if on Impact or somewhere Roxy returns and they basically mentioned that it was kind of bullshit since Madison cheated. But either way, it was a good match until Madison won, so I'm not gonna give it the thumbs up. So 2 out of 3. Sorry if I'm bitching with the booking. 2 out of 3 good matches so far. Next, I believe it was the Brother Ray versus Jesse Neal, which some people were calling a bad from Ray. They set up this whole angle where Ray actually forgave Neal, and then for nothing, and then he attacked him out of nowhere, and they were wrestling. Ray was basically beating the crap out of him, and then Tommy Dreamer showed up and basically yeah, that's gonna be classic Platano footage. Anyways, and that's all he did, and then he left. And the match, yeah, I was happy to see Jesse Neal win, because I myself said that I don't see nothing from Brother Ray winning. So I was happy to see Neal win, but this match was pretty boring at times, and it looked like Brother Ray basically being rough on this guy because he's a new guy, this and that. I think this should have been the second match on the card. They probably just wanted it higher because of the Tommy Dreamer, but Tommy Dreamer didn't really do nothing. So I guess this was the nice surprise that TNA talked about, which I don't want people to critique too fast because she has already announced basically that it's a nice surprise for tonight, which was a little debut there, Tommy Dreamer for Tommy Dreamer fans and shit like that. And then there's going to be an even bigger surprise that we'll probably see later this summer, which is basically a new change to TNA that will change everything. I'm not sure, but so we'll still have to wait for that one, which I kind of like because it gives them more time for them to build up to it, plant little storyline seeds so that big change to actually make sense. And then we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, so when it does happen, we'll be like, oh shit, this is probably what she was talking about. Anyways, next we had Hernandez versus Morgan. Morgan came out, cut a great promo how he's not going to wrestle. It was hilarious. Supposedly the blueprint of the way a human's DNA should be, and he has a little neck bruise so he can't wrestle, which was funny. And once again, Hernandez was looking great. Cut a promo before the match. I swear to God, his body's amazing. No homo. But I really think that Hernandez should win the title late this year. It would be something that would give some kind of shock value, and it would be a very unique champion. If we look at the pictures of who's the champions, we'll see probably John Cena on one side and then Hernandez on the other. And Hernandez is a new champion, fresh blood, and I'm sure he could put on some great matches. So I would like to see him win that. But either way, so then Morgan was saying he was going to wrestle, but Hernandez came out and basically forced him to start the match. And I was enjoying the match. It was good. The only thing that was stupid and weird was that since Morgan didn't want to wrestle, he came out in regular clothes and was wrestling like that. And the finish came with Hernandez launching this guy like across the ring almost. And then he got disqualified, and then he tried to take out Morgan and accidentally took out Hebner's son, which I think is going to set up a Earl Hebner versus Hernandez match at Victory Road, which I'm looking forward. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, so I was enjoying the match, and they kind of, I'll give it a thumbs up because I was enjoying the match, and I didn't want to see this feud. They built up both these guys, Hernandez with his return, and Matt Morgan when he was a singles tag team champion. So I didn't want to see one of them get jobbed out on their first fight. This is a way to continue the feud, and I would like to see this feud continue with Hernandez when he's done with it, moving on to the heavyweight title and climbing the ranks. So I support this finish, and I was enjoying the match, and I like these two guys, so I'll give it a thumbs up. That's 3 matches that I enjoyed out of 5. Next we had, if I remember right, I don't have no type of card or something. Oh, we had the Desmond versus Abyss. This match was kind of boring at points and stuff like that, but things turned around after he did that rolling sunset flip to the barbed wire. That's when the match really got good for me and got interesting and really picked up the pace. And at that point you're just like, fuck, man. Abyss started gushing blood, and it's probably, somebody mentioned it in the stream that I was watching, that's probably the longest Monsters Ball match since the Sabu Jeff Hardy one. But I believe the Monsters Ball in 2008 with the tag teams was longer, but it's different situation as tag teams. But either way, this was a very long, decent Monsters Ball match. Got enough time, and I think it was great, and that's when it picked up, and after that I liked everything. I was disappointed to see Desmond lose, but hey, it is what it is. Can't have my way all the time. But now Chelsea is with Abyss. I hope he does the Tower of London on Chelsea, and that makes Abyss go crazy and turn heel. I hope that's what happens. Either way, it was a good match. I definitely want to see it again one day. So that's 4 out of 6, I believe. Sorry, second math. Then we had AJ fucking Styles versus Jay Lethal. I'm a Jay Lethal mark. I really am. Since 2007, they weren't really using him right. In most of 2009 and the beginning of 2010, they weren't using him at all. So it's so refreshing to see him in so high on the card in a main event kind kind of important feud with Ric Flair and AJ Styles, and they went out there and they did their thing. It was like an old style X Division match. I had so many sick moves. And then I like the finish because it wasn't a finish where AJ couldn't compete no more. Lito just got the pin, and right after the pin, AJ was still, AJ basically got stunned for the pin, but he was still strong. But Jay Lito actually won, which I wanted to see. I hope Jay Lito is a fucking champion one day. He has like 20 years left in him. It needs to happen, so they can show footage of him all the way back then when he's a veteran. It's going to be amazing. Jay Lito, I really love this match. So that's 5 out of 6 matches I enjoyed. And then the tag match was next. Beer Money versus Anderson, Jeff Hardy. Beer Money's an amazing team. The enigmatic assholes is great too. And this was it was a solid tag match, which you expect. And Anderson and then Jeff Hardy, the new tag team, won, which I think they definitely would deserve to be champs over the band. Mr. Platinum Man 1989. Our Slammiversary was cool. Talk more in the comments. Peace.